Hello, Capricorn. So here is your reading. We're going to see what is in your energies currently. These are general. Take what works, and what doesn't work just doesn't work. But let's see what the cards have to say for you. So in the basis of what this reading is about, you have the Ace of Cups. In your current energies, you have the Hanged Man. In your near future, you have the Page of Pentacles. What your challenge is regarding this situation, you have the Ten of Swords reversed, and what's recommended for you is the Five of Swords. This situation has something to do with like emotional connections to something or someone. This could be relationships or anything that your kind of emotions are a little tied to. But I would say that this might be, there might have been something new that has happened, or a new person or a new situation that kind of started this emotional thing. So I feel like whatever this is, you're kind of starting to have, I want to say you're having a change of heart a little bit, or you're starting to see something a little differently. But this is something to do with more of your, like the emotional aspects of your life, whatever this represents for you. Because currently with the Hanged Man, I feel like you're seeing things differently. Like the Hanged Man, he's kind of in a pause mode, but he's trying to see things from a different perspective or from other perspectives. So you might be just kind of taking a pause on something, and you're actually seeing it from different perspectives, which I definitely think is very, very good, because sometimes it helps us see things more clearly and if it's worth pursuing or worth getting involved in. So I definitely think, especially when it comes to the emotions, you know, sometimes our emotions get carried away a little bit. So I think it's good to always take like a pause if you have some new emotional situation, or there's something that's kind of sparked that feeling of excitement or love or passion or whatever it is, to just take a moment and just make sure that this is the right direction or this is the right thing to pursue. But what's coming in for you with the Page of Pentacles, either some kind of practical news regarding your finances or something tangible like your house or mortgage or whatever, something, either a message like that's going to be coming in for in the near future, or you're going to actually be starting to figure out different ways of doing something. Now, I always like the Pentacles when it comes to any kind of emotional aspect, because the Pentacles are that more practical sensibility type of situation of, you know, being able to get something. Let's say if this represents, the Ace of Cups represents a dream for you or something that you want to start doing. I always love the Pentacles kind of involved in that, because then it's kind of like, okay, well, we're going to figure out the details of how to actually make this work. And is it really sensible? Will it actually work? Or does it even have a chance? Or is it too dreamy where it's not going to ever be able to turn into reality? So I really like the Pentacles. And the Pages, they're students. So I think coming in for you, you're going to be learning different things depending on the perspectives that you might be gaining on this situation currently. I think you might be now trying to implement maybe different strategies or different ideas or aspects with this. But the Pentacles, they're always about kind of trying something out, you know, seeing how it works, seeing if you get a return on your investment, seeing if it's a return on anything, and kind of being open to other opportunities as well. So I think that is extremely, extremely good. But what's challenging you regarding this situation is the Ten of Swords reversed. Now, I think some of you might be holding on to something. I think whatever this Hanged Man, whatever you're seeing maybe in a different perspective currently, you might have been seeing in a prior perspective, you know, like in an alternate perspective before you had this Hangman, this kind of seeing it from a different side. And some of you might just be holding on to something from the past, because the Ace of Cups is kind of that new spark, that new kind of excitement in your soul. But there always is sometimes old stuff that we're kind of stuck in and stuck to. So some of you might be, your challenge might be that you're almost like resisting letting something go that's not really serving you anymore, or you're not really taking this Ace of Cups situation, you're not really exploring it as to the best of your ability. So, but I definitely think, because the Page of Pentacles coming in for you, I definitely think you're going to be kind of overcoming this hesitation or resistance to letting something go in the past. But sometimes it's a process. It doesn't always happen overnight. But so that's definitely challenging you currently, is to let go and move forward, you know. And it's not always easy, but one step at a time. But what's recommended for you is the Five of Swords. And I would say, I think this is saying that you need to be selfish. The Five of Swords is one of those cards that I have a lot of different thoughts on. There's some cards that I kind of see very black and white and kind of like yes or no or whatever, but some cards I kind of really, I just feel like they're like onions. They have layers. And the Five of Swords to me is one of those onion kind of cards where there's a lot of different layers. To me, I see it as a card of different components, different pieces kind of working together or working against each other. And I just feel intuitively regarding this reading, the Five of Swords is here saying that you might have to be a little bit selfish, because the guy on this thing, he beat these other guys, but I think that this guy kind of came maybe more prepared. Maybe he cheated a little bit. We don't really know exactly, but he was definitely more prepared, or he wanted this more than maybe the other two people. So I think with this, I think you might have to put yourself first a little bit, because whatever this Ace of Cups, whatever this heart thing you want, whatever this new thing, new idea, new person, whatever it is, I think I kind of feel like it's helping you see, maybe like gain some type of clarity or enlightenment a little bit regarding certain situations in your life, and it's causing you to take a little pause and see it from a different angle and really assess. And I think with the Page of Pentacles, this is all about, you know, kind of working on something, trying different things out, but working on it, but trying to figure out how to make it better. But I think here, especially because your challenge with the Ten of Swords reverse is about not really letting go of things. I think sometimes when we don't let go of things, we're almost like putting other people before ourselves, or even in our minds, because these are both your mind right here. The Ten of Swords, the swords are your kind of thoughts and your minds and everything. So I wonder if some of you just really need to kind of, I don't want to say screw everybody else. I'm not saying that, but you might have to put yourself first in this situation, because whatever this Ace of Cups is for you, I think it could potentially bring more financial opportunity, because at the same time, you know, the Page of Pentacles, he's kind of about the finances and monetary aspects or things like that within your life. So I think there's definite opportunities that could be following this situation, whatever this represents. But I think you need to kind of sometimes, you know, go all in, or kind of just put yourself first, put your desires or your needs first. So let's see what else comes out for you guys. Okay, guys, first up, we have Buffalo Spirit, the abundant universe will provide. And I really feel that if some of you are a little bit worried about making changes, and some of these might be major changes, because the Hangman, it's a major arcana, so you might be kind of seeing some big aspect in your life a little bit differently, or you're choosing to potentially change something up that you've always done a certain way, or you feel you need to let something go. It's not easy, but I think this is saying that regardless what this is, you are going to have what you need, you will be provided for in a sense. Okay, next you have these two, which is turquoise, prioritize your health, and pink opal, be kind to yourself. Now, I think for some of you, I wonder if you're beating yourself up a little bit with this Ten of Swords. There could have been something that didn't work out very well, and maybe you feel a little bit of guilt or responsibility for it, or even sadness. And I think because this is your challenge, you need to somehow put that ghost to rest. Sometimes these ghosts never really go away, but sometimes you could stick them in a corner of your brain and lock them in a box and not deal with them every single day. But I think through this, whatever you're doing, and even with this Five of Swords kind of being selfish a little bit, that's not always easy for everybody. Sometimes people are very selfless, so the times that they have to be selfish, which is always a time sometimes you have to be selfish. And when I say selfish, if you have kids or like major responsibilities like that, I'm not saying, let them go, just let them figure it out themselves. I'm not saying that. But if you're in a situation that's been kind of taking more than it's been giving and it's been a little toxic, and you've always been the selfless one in that situation, you might have to be the selfish one going forward in that situation. So you need to prioritize your health and be kind to yourself through this process. Now we have these two: unrequited love, there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going, and honeymoon, enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. Now, I kind of feel like the unrequited love, there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going, might actually be a little bit, I don't want to say, I wonder if some of you, this is why you're having this Ten of Swords, holding on to something that's not really working out or ever will work out. That might be for some of you. It could be love, or it could be just a situation, some type of disappointment that you're having a little bit hard time just moving forward with. And the honeymoon, enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. I kind of feel like that's a little bit going with this the Page of Pentacles, because I feel like whatever this emotional situation that's been for you that you might have to either move on from, or there's, for some of you, it might be something you have to move on from, but others, it might be something that like you need to move towards. How I mean is, for some, whatever this Ace of Cups represents for you, this emotional thing, some of you, you're having problems letting it go, although you see it in a different perspective. But for others, I think that this could indicate that there might be some new thing that you're willing to embark on, and you're seeing your current life in a different perspective, but you're having problems letting go of some of the old stuff. So to me, there's always multiple ways, and there's so many people, so I just feel like those two ways I have to kind of explain. But the honeymoon, for some of you, I think that this could be the Page of Pentacles, just because I feel like he's trying a lot of different things, and I feel like, because the students, they're not really they're bogged down, but they've never done some of these things before, so they're not stuck in certain ways. So they're more willing to try different things. And I feel like you might be coming into a moment soon where you're willing to try things that you've never really tried before. And I think sometimes that's almost like a honeymoon. It's like a bliss. It's like a breath of fresh air, because you're kind of allowing yourself to be a little freer to explore whatever this might be. And sometimes that could be a little rejuvenating, revitalizing. So some of you, that might actually, and I think with the Five of Swords being recommended, I think that's what you need to do. You need to kind of maybe put yourself first a little bit and allow yourself to explore different opportunities or avenues that you might not have really fully explored before. But I think this is saying that the time might be right for that, and kind of enjoy the process of that too. So then you have third eye chakra. Dreams. Dreams are where your mind translates the divine. And I wonder if this Hangman, I wonder with this right here, these two right here, Ace of Cups and the Hangman, I wonder if you're kind of, maybe you felt like your life kind of got stuck, but now you're seeing that you might want more, you want different things, or you're just shifting up your perspectives, or you're really thinking about, what do you want? Like, what do you want for the rest of your life? What do you want to try? So there might be some type of dream that you might be thinking about pursuing, and that could represent the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups could be some kind of dream that you want to do, or a dream that you've been having, and now you're really at the point where, like, it's either now or never type of situation. Now it's, I'm either going to try it out or I'm never going to do it. And discover, spot new opportunities, and that's definitely going with the Page of Pentacles. And I feel like because the Five of Swords is recommended, this guy saw an opportunity. He knew he was going to kick these two people's asses. He was prepared for this battle, and he came in, he knew he was going to take the day. He knew he was going to get the opportunity. There was no doubt in his mind, because he was probably overly prepared for this. Whether or not he was cheating, we don't know, but all I'm saying is he knew he was going to win. So he took that opportunity to maybe, I don't want to say exploit some others' weaknesses, but he kind of took the opportunities where he could to win what he needed to do. So I think the Page of Pentacles is you kind of also potentially seeing different opportunities in whatever this represents that you can maybe use to your benefit, or because I wonder with the Hangman if some of you are seeing something like an opportunity that maybe other people aren't seeing. And this could be business, this could be anything, you know? So, yeah, definitely stay aware of that. Now, twists and turns. Carefully made plans could be thrown out the window as major changes and interruptions surround you. Make sure you get lots of rest to cope with all the upheaval. Now, I think that's really going with the be kind to yourself and prioritize your health. Some of you, this Ten of Swords, I feel like this resistance to change, potentially you're kind of really not letting something go, kind of like, I don't want to say being fixated on some negative crap that happened, but just really being stuck in your head about something. That could be a twist and a turn that kind of was unexpected, or you were hoping was going to change or turn out differently, and then it didn't, and now you can't let it go. But I feel like with the Page of Pentacles here, I feel like this guy, because like I said, he's not really fixed on one way of doing something, because he's still a student. He's still trying to figure out what the hell he's doing to begin with. So I think this guy, and because this is coming in for you, I think you're really going to be good at the twists and the turns, you know? Because I feel like the students are more, I don't want to say they're more accepting of getting blindsided, but they're not so fixed where if something comes up out of left field, they don't know that it never came out of left field before. They're kind of more, I don't know, expecting things, but it's a little bit more fluid. Whereas if somebody was really set in one way of thinking or one way of doing something for a long time, and then all of a sudden something came out of left field, they'd be like, oh my God, what's going on here? But I feel like the students are a little bit more flexible with that. So I think that's really, really good. But because the Five of Swords is recommended also, some of you might be need to be a little like strategic as well, or be aware of some twists and turns coming through here as well. Now, you have Axe, break up, separation, stop the pattern, silent treatment, abandonment. And I really feel like you have to axe this whatever this negative attachment or this situation that you're really depressed about or feeling a certain kind of way about. I think you need to kind of axe that in your head. You need to kind of separate from that and stop the pattern. Maybe there's something that's kind of bogging you down and you need to really just, and it's hindering whatever this could be for you. You need to kind of like, I don't want to say abandon your depression or abandon your sorrows or whatever, but you might need to kind of just, to give whatever this represents your all, you might have to just be like, okay, I can't think about the mess today. It was a mess. It's a disaster. It still is, but today is a new day. I have to start going forward. I have to figure out what I'm doing now. And you might have to kind of just like, I don't want to say break up with yourself, because that sounds like super crazy, but you have to break up with those negative thoughts in your mind. And that's much easier said than done. Now we have, you can't run from the shadow, but you can invite it to dance. And I think this is saying that with the Ten of Swords here, you might never be able to get over this situation. Whatever this is, whatever this upsetness is for you potentially, you may always be upset about this. This could have been some major situation in your life that's just going to kind of haunt you for the rest of your life, and you're never really going to, you'll move on, you'll move forward, but you'll always remember, and it's always going to be, maybe every time you think about it, you just have regrets or something. So that happens. It happens to all of us. But I think there's a point where you let things eat you and consume you, and then there's a point where you're like, okay, well, that situation sucked. I survived. I'm trying to do better today, type of thing. So I think sometimes you have to like not run away from the bad things, but just know that they'll haunt you for the rest of your life, but at least, you know, you can dance with them, or you can just kind of haunt them back or something. Like, I don't know. It's, maybe inviting it to dance, you could see the positives and you can turn it into like a learning lesson. Okay, so now we have, in other words, meditate. Sit down and shut up. And I think this is just saying that I think you need to shut your mind up. I think whatever is going on, you just need to sit down, focus on what you're doing here, And I feel like with the Hangman, I think you're kind of sitting down and maybe shutting up a little bit mentally or physically or whatever in a certain thing, because this is a little bit of a paused energy and seeing things differently. But you might have to kind of just also just kind of quiet your mind a little bit, quiet whatever this situation that's haunting you or upsetting you is, and just try to keep it still and just focus on the present. Now, because I feel like even with the Five of Swords, I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, I don't know this guy personally, but I don't think this guy is like, he just doesn't seem like the type that's going to have a lot of like guilt or remorse. I just get that vibe from him. So I think maybe that's even recommended for you, is not to be a cold asshole. That's not what I'm saying. But I think if you have too much guilt or too much remorse for a situation, and maybe that some of that shouldn't really be all on your shoulders, you might have to kind of let some of it go, or try not to have it consume you as much, because this guy's not thinking about these people's feelings at all. He's only happy, and he's going to have a great time. He's going out to the club tonight. Maybe he's going to have a few drinks. He's partying it up. He's going to be all over the town telling everybody how he kicked their ass. He might even start making stuff up to make the story more interesting, like 1,000 people showed up to this fight and he beat all of them with one punch or something. So you might have to kind of be in that like selfish kind of energy of, I'm not saying don't think of other people, but sometimes you need to kind of put yourself a little bit first, depending on what situations are, even if it's momentarily. Now let's see what Bob Ross has for you today. You have, it's life, it's interesting, it's fun. And I think this is saying that you just need to continue to be a little playful, a little fun, whatever you're seeing a little differently. And with the Page of Pentacles, have some fun with it, because he's still a student. You know, he's still fun. You know, he's a kid. He's still fun. He still has that fun energy, that playfulness. So I just think you have to remind yourself, if you are experiencing this Ten of Swords reversed, this kind of bogged down misery kind of energy, that life is a shit show, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it really sucks, but tomorrow the sun will rise, and you just, sometimes it's like you just got to take it for what it is and be happy you survived. if nothing else, be like, okay, I survived today. I survived this situation. But sometimes you just have to kind of make a joke at something as well. And for your little affirmation, you have, today I am receptive. Today I will let go of the past. I will live in the present, and I'm looking forward to a bright future. And I really feel like this is really, really, really going with whatever this Ten of Swords here, whatever this misery, that you have to let go. Something that's done, you need to let it go. It's not always easy, but you have to kind of, and I feel like with the Hangman, he's looking at the future. He's looking at a situation differently, but he's kind of more looking at the future as well. So that is excellent. And next, for your stress relief and self-care card, you have watching the sunrise. Objective, feeling grateful for another day. Imagine yourself sitting on a lovely beach watching the sunrise. The air is calm and serene. You can hear seabirds gently awakening and hear the soft sounds of the water as it hits the shore. Smell the wonderful aroma of the sea. Feel the gratitude for another beautiful day awakening. And that's beautiful. And honestly, that's just about being in the moment and just kind of seeing the beauty in things and trying to not really think too much as well. So, and honestly, if you don't have a sunrise, or if you can't watch the sunrise, or you're just not a morning person, I don't know, you could watch something. Maybe there's even a sunrise. You could YouTube a sunrise and just watch that and just enjoy that. Okay, so for your spirit of the dish, you have, that will be with you through the situation, you have the spirit of the Queen of Sides, which is the spirit of the salad. Now, for your dinner and a movie, you have Chinese food and comedy films for the energies that you either need to tap into or be aware of. You have Aquarius here, and this is all about independence and eccentricity. And you have Pisces, which is about vision, creativity, and illusions. You also have Neptune, which is about vision, creativity, and illusions. It's more Piscean energy. And then you also have Saturn, which is about restrictions, responsibilities, and life lessons. You have the first house, which represents appearance, ego, interest, and the self. And then you have the fifth house, which represents passion, love, success, and creativity. And you have number 5, which is an odd number. So that means a special guest that'll be answering your questions today, Capricorn, will be the Magic 8 Ball. Think of those questions. He'll be out here shortly. You have BONEM 051. Oh, and you have the palm tree. And I think this is saying some of you gotta have fun. You gotta like watch your sunrise or just have a little, just relax maybe. Maybe some of you just really, really need some relaxation. And you have happiness. And I think this is you trying to find your happiness or go towards things that make you happy. So that's definitely, definitely important because I think this 10 of Swords here is kind of heavy and blah. And now, here he is. Think of those questions, Capricorns, and it is time to ask. Oh, mystical, magical 8 Ball, the mightiest ball of all the balls in the world. What is the answer to Capricorn's question? It says, it is certain. The 8 Ball has spoken. I hope you all have a wonderful day, week, month, year, lifetime, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.